Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we have another Sunday preview, and it's the one you've not been waiting for. There's some fun stuff in this, but we'll get to it. Before we jump through though, this is Sunday preview the 11th of May 2025, which means everything shown here will be going up for pre-order on Saturday the 17th of May, releasing on Saturday the 31st of May, and there's still no Space Wolves. Maybe next week. I'm getting sick of saying that now. I just want Space Wolves, goddammit. But let's see what we actually have here. So, I think it was predictable after the rumoured leaks that appeared then disappeared. Codex Thousand Suns, hot on the heels of the other three much more beloved Chaos Gods. Thousand Suns are finally getting their share. They're weak in the sun. Do they like sun? I mean, they're made of sand, so maybe. But you've got your limited edition, slightly more expensive Codex cover, and then the bog standard one. You also have the fourth and final Chaos Amulet. What would you say was the big objective markery thing? The stupidly expensive Scalper Bait edition is coming out as well. To anybody who's already got the previous three, good luck trying to get this one. At that point, I'm rooting for you guys who have three and want the fourth for the collection. Fingers crossed. What can we say? We haven't seen this one before, I don't think, but we know what comes in them. We've seen the other three gods. I don't think anybody's surprised at this. The Warp Flame Thrall Band Battle Force. So this is the box that you all want with those beautiful new robots that the entirety of Warhammer fans just adored. This will be the £150 battle force that we've been seeing again with the previous two. Death Guard and Worldies have got the same treatment where they lock the new models behind a box with models that you probably already have. But what do you actually get in this one? So you've got your Secretary robots, 2 pairs. I'm guessing that they're a unit of 2. So you've got 2 pairs, you've got 3 Exalted Sorcerers, 5 Scarab Occult Terminators, 10 Rubric Marines, and then the transfer sheets. So it's a limited release. I don't think this box will sell out. I think this is another Ordo Malleus box, and I'm not entirely sure that there is a huge... I mean, I suppose it depends on the rules of these robots. As a model, I think universally, they got the same treatment as Kotias. But let me know if you'll be picking this box up in the comments below. Combat Patrol Thousand Suns looks familiar. There's a Demon Prince. A GW trying to get rid of Demon Princes or something. Demon Prince does look good in Thousand Suns though, I have to say. That's really cool. Really, really cool. But I think these Chaos Combat Patrols have actually been pretty good. There's a mix of units there. So we've got a Demon Prince, and I believe, again, much like the World Eaters, it will be the full Demon Prince kit, so it doesn't have to be made that way. You get all of the options as well. You could potentially make him for AOS. Just throwing it out there. You get a Zangor Shaman, 3 Zangor Enlightened, 10 Rubric Marines, and a transfer sheet as well. And I think these combat patrols are pretty good. The last 3, I mean, even the Emperor's Children, I think the last 4 combat patrols have been very good. Nice mix of units, but it's different stuff as well, and you get an actual usable start to an army, I would say. So this is cool. I like this. Your data cards and your dice. The dice aren't the worst either, are they? I'll be honest, they're easy to read. Nice if it was gold instead of yellow, but blue and yellow, Thousand Suns colours, they're not the worst dice we've seen. Moving over to the old world now, and it's not Beastmen, it is the Wood Elf realms. I'm going to be honest guys, I would have looked to pick this up to get an idea of Wood Elves and the lore and things, but we're still waiting on Space Wolves, and I can't buy everything. But I would like to pick this up down the line, and everybody loves the Wood Elves, right? But they're getting their Arcane Journal, they're also getting their Battalion. I think we saw this with, it was the Cathay preview, wasn't it? With everything, I mean, that was just eclipsed by the Cathay stuff. But here's their Battle Force, that's going up, 62 miniatures, a good mix of units, and I think it's everything that you probably want to start with. From what I've heard, dice and your reference card packs, I think they're quite nice dice. I have to say, the green works for me, that's a nice green. Orion, King of the Woods, is being re-released. Araloth, Lord of Talzin, is getting their re-release as well. The High Elf Noble on Dragon, it's such a dopey model, but it's so iconic. It's so just, yes it looks dopey, yes it looks old, but it's also really, really cool. So it's nice to see that back. I believe that's a metal model as well. Metal dragon with plastic wings, and it comes with 6 paper banners. Interesting, that's really cool. That's old world Games Workshop thinking. I love that. Returning metal wood elf characters, we've got a good mix of heroes and things here. I've always liked that pose, that model. I quite like that one as well, that's quite cool. I remember him, the stilt man thing. Yeah. I mean, this is just nostalgia, isn't it, at this point? And the weird dryad thing? Yeah. Yeah, some classic models in there, and returning plastics as well. Big drop for the wood elves. I really like these archers. I've always liked the wood elven models. I couldn't tell you what these units are called, by the way. But yeah, they're really cool. Nice to see them coming back. They're the plastic kits as well. Returning metal units. Oh, what are they? War Dancer troops. They're really cool. I don't know if I've ever seen them. They're metal, so I'm going to stay well away from them, but aren't they cool? That's a nice model as well. I've always liked that one. Are they all War Dancers? They're Waystalkers. I just love these models. It's the mix of bows, swords, and then the cloaks and the thrown together barbarian-esque armour. It just invokes something in an element of fantasy that I love. These models are great. I know that they're metal. And they, compared to the newer stuff that they make, compared to Cathay, they look pretty terrible. Let's be honest. But also, they just look really cool. I like all of this stuff. This is cool. We've also got some more metal stuff returning, so some eagle riders, big tree thing. They could take dogs, boars, panthers, and bears as well. That's cool. Again, they look their age, but that's all pretty cool. I suppose they use the creatures of the forest, don't they? We didn't get any of this shown off. This is massive drop for the wood elves. This might be everything. 3 forest cats. I want the cats. Can I just buy the cats on their own? The High Elf Lawmaster is getting a release as well. The Silver Helms and the Arcane Frogs. How could we forget about the Arcane Frogs? I feel like they've been shown off months ago. The Arcane Frogs themselves are resin. Everything else is a mix of plastic and metal. It tells you in the description. I'm not going to go unit by unit. Oh, there's some really cool stuff in the Wood Elves though. They're cool. That's cool. Yeah, there's some really nice stuff. Wood Elves just have so much character, don't they? So that's stuff for the old world. Moving on to Warhammer TV Plus, we have another How We Roll, where they're talking about all the work that goes into creating memorable characters for the Age of Sigmar, from the perspective of both background and rules. That'll be interesting. That's Phil Kelly as well, isn't it? He does a lot of the AOS stuff. Yeah, I'm interested in that one. Lawmasters is talking about the Blood Angels, and Ultimate Paint Off. 4 new contestants are tasked with conquering a challenge based on contrast paint. Yeah, me and contrast paints don't get on very well. I mean, if I watch that, I might get some ideas on how to actually use them, but it's me failing, not a contrast paint failing. The problem with Warhammer TV Plus at the minute is all I'm waiting for is the animated things. Black Talon, the final 3 episodes need to start dropping. Hammer and Bolter, I don't know if it's coming back, but something, surely there's got to be... I know we're not going to get Astartes 2 anytime soon, but surely there's something in the works that they can actually start to release. Warhammer TV Plus is just... this year, it feels like it's a bad year. The models were great, beautiful models, but the content has just been naff on the whole, which is a shame. But yeah, that, for me, from my perspective of world building and creating characters and narrative campaigns, How We Roll sounds brilliant. The other 2 I'm not that fussed on. Over here at WarCom, the Scourge of Ghyran continues. I will have my Cities of Sigmar video dropping after this one. We're also going to be taking a look at Thousand Suns and a male violent reveal clunking and whirring over the horizon. What could that be? That'll be Monday's reveal, won't it? On the whole, it's not Space Wolves, it's not what we wanted. It's a pretty solid week for model releases. Wood Elf fans, Old World fans, probably loving this week. And, you know, Thousand Suns, they're getting Thousand Suns out now, so that Space Wolves will probably just be a week on its own where it's just the army box. But actually, I think that this stuff, Battle Force boxes aside, I've talked about how I feel about them anyway. I think that's a pretty good combat patrol. I do think that's a pretty good combat patrol. But what is pick of the preview? I'm gonna go with, it's weird that I'm picking metal models. I'm gonna go with these War Dancers. Yeah, War Dancer troop. I don't think I've ever seen them before, but they're cool. And just because they're cool, I'm picking that as my pick of the preview. Hey, look, we all know I'm just waiting for Space Wolves. I think most of you guys out there are just waiting for Space Wolves too, to be fair. But let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.